We are live. We are live. Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Flugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel, ring the notification bell, smash the like button if you like our content, share the video with your family and friends. If you want to support this college football rebel outpost with a donation, help us keep the lights on and grow the channel, just hit that $ where you make a comment and I'll get to super chat as quick as I possibly can. Welcome everybody into the studio that sits on the corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to become a legend with your comments and with your phone calls. It is Georgia, Alabama for the Southeastern Conference Championship. Welcome in everybody. Earlier today, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Red Raiders for becoming the Big 12 champion. 34-7. That nasty great defense. Holy smokes. And Cameron Dickey, man, I wouldn't want to tackle him. And you've got Reggie Virgil, who came from Miami of Ohio, and I talked about him. When the Red Raiders got him in the portal. Wow. The Red Raiders, they're going to be a tough out. I'm sorry, but they're going to be a tough out. I am looking forward. Now, if the Red Raiders remain at number 4, and they may not remain at number 4. If Georgia loses today, the Red Raiders are going to move up. And then who knows about the Buckeyes in the Hoosier game. But if the Red Raiders come out of all this number 4 and the Oregon Ducks come out of all of this number 5, holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen, holy smokes. The Red Raiders against the Ducks, against the healthy Ducks. Bill G, thank you so much for starting us off this afternoon, with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Bill G. Man, you have been unbelievable with your generosity to this channel and to others here at Peek Around the Corner. I cannot thank you enough, Bill G. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much for your generosity. Bill G has gifted a membership to Quick Bain, Christopher Marcato, the PATC artist, Derek Marie in the house. Joy in 7 Empis. You are all gifted a membership by Bill G. When you get an opportunity, please say thank you to Bill G because of his enormous generosity day after day, week after week, month after month here at PATC. Unbelievable generosity. All of you are officially knighted Cloak and Dagger. And let me say this. Congratulations to the BYU Cougars for having such a fantastic season. It was a pleasure to watch the BYU Cougars play football this year. Superman, just like Superman has kryptonite, Bachmeier, who I call Superman, his ankle, or whatever type of foot injury he suffered today, that was his kryptonite. I think, I'm just speculating, obviously, but it might be more of an injury than being hurt, than being just in pain. I think he might have a severe twisted ankle of some sort. But congratulations to BYU Cougars. A fantastic football season for that fan base and for college football, for us fans outside of BYU country. What a fun team to watch. What a fun team to watch. The Red Raiders are a threat to win it all. They are a threat to win the whole thing. So buckle up, Oregon Ducks, because I think you're probably going to play the Oregon Ducks because, by the way, Bill G is a legend. No question about it. No question about it. Bill G is a legend. Do you know who another legend is, Jose? Do you know who another legend is? Huh? The fat guy from Minnesota when it comes to conference championship games in the playoffs. I'm Greg the Cooler in the regular season. But when it comes to these conference championship games in the playoffs, I take it to a whole nother level. I don't know if yeah, exactly. I don't know if I've gotten any of these games wrong yet. And by the way, I'm going to get this game right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm giving you the fat guy guarantee. The fat guy Minnesota guarantee. Georgia's going to cover this game. And Georgia is going to whoop the Alabama Crimson Tide today. Now, I know a lot of people, Tristan, Scott Grable, a lot of people in the PATC family completely disagrees with me. There's probably only two people in the family that agree with me. Don Scruggs and Wendy Scruggs. Two Bulldogs. Everybody else, ladies and gentlemen, Georgia is going to blow the doors off of Alabama. And, no kiss of death. No kiss of death. I did not give Georgia the kiss of death. And let me, these announcers during the Red Raiders BYU Cougar football game, they kept saying, if BYU wins, Notre Dame is out. If BYU wins, Notre Dame is out. If BYU wins, Notre Dame and Miami. What about this scenario? Lots of people skipping over possibility. Bama gets trucked by Georgia. And both Notre Dame and Miami makes the playoffs. Why not? Why not? Why not? Let me ask that question one more time. Why not? You know, they're saying, BYU lost 34-7 and they're going to move them down. They're all saying it. They're going to move them down. And they probably will, and they probably should. But what if Alabama gets blown out? Why don't they get moved down? Just the week prior, Georgia was ahead of Alabama. Georgia was ahead of Alabama. I'm sorry. Notre Dame was ahead of Alabama. Let me say that again. Notre Dame was ahead of Alabama. Georgia whips up on Stanford 49-20. Bama ekes out a victory over 5-7 Auburn, and suddenly they flip. Well, that means, ladies and gentlemen, that means, logically speaking, in my mind, the flip didn't make sense, but the flip happened. The flip happened between Notre Dame and Alabama. But if that's the case, Alabama can't be that far ahead of Notre Dame. And there's no way on God's green earth Notre Dame is that far ahead of Miami. But differences have to be like this. So if Georgia comes out here and plays another dud of a football game, which I happen to think they did against Auburn, If you're going to move BYU down a couple spots, if you're going to move BYU behind Miami, behind Vanderbilt, and I know you will, if Bama gets blown out today, you better be moving them back a couple spots. I believe if Bama gets blown out today, and I think they will, I think it's going to be Notre Dame and Miami in the playoffs. How do you like them apples? Ma Prof, Tumasta, Coy. Be serious, Greg. Can you imagine bold talk. Same goes for Indiana, Greg. Now, not the same thing goes for Indiana. If Indiana gets blown out, they'll get moved down. But Georgia lost to Florida State. Hello! Alabama lost to Florida State. They get blown out by Georgia. They go 10-3. Which reminds me, by the way, let me show you another post that I put up today. From Matt Hayes. What are we doing here? Tulane and or James Madison have no business in the college football playoff. I get it. By college football playoff format, one is getting in, but these two are a long way from Boise State of 2024. All right. Okay. All right. But then I said this. Tulane, who Matt Hayes doesn't think should be in the playoffs. Tulane defeated Duke. Duke defeated Clemson. Clemson defeated FSU. And FSU defeated Alabama. While Tulane does not have Bama's resume and doesn't match Bama's eye test, let's not pretend they can't play with the big dogs of the FBS. Which leads me to this. Congratulations to the Tulane Green Wave for the American Championship and the rightful berth into the college football playoffs. And who is the fifth highest ranked conference championship out of berth going to go to? It's either going to go to Virginia, it's either going to go to Duke, or it's going to go to James Madison. A Virginia win, Virginia's going to get the berth and be seeded 11. If Duke wins, it's going to be up between Duke versus James Madison. And I got a feeling that James Madison is going to get the berth, but we shall see. We've got the Golden Gopher, Dave Valinsky. I remember before there was a Big Ten championship at the highest ranked Big Ten team in the BC rankings was declared the champion. I don't understand why they don't have the same format for other conference championships. Well, in the future, if we don't have a conference championship game, Dave, I think it's going to be the standings, the conference standings that are going to declare who the conference champion is. Who the conference champion is. I think that's how it probably will play out in the future if these conference championship games are eliminated. Thank you, Dave Valinsky. Thank you for your $20 holler. Thank you, Gopher. I believe the Golden Gophers are going to be playing the Iowa State Cyclones in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona. I believe that's if Iowa State decides to play. I believe the Gophers are going to play Iowa State, but I don't think that's official yet. You saw the listings of all the Big Ten. All the other Big Ten bowl games are official, but ours is not because I think they're waiting on Iowa State. Go Black 45. Let the JV6 have their own playoffs. First down and 10. First down and 10. Georgia at the 25-yard line. Little flat pass. Big opening. First down, Bama. 17-yard gain to start the game. I've been seeing a lot of people say, yeah, they should have their own playoffs. They should have their own playoffs. But look, SEC teams and Big Ten teams and Big 12 teams and ACC teams, we all sure love to poach their players in the offseason. We love to take their players in the portal, right? We love to take their players but we don't want them associated with us, but we like to have their players. The reason why their players get a scholarship, the reason why their players can develop, the reason why their players sometimes are overlooked in recruiting, but they shine in G5 and they come up here and they contribute to your favorite team. The reason why they're able to do that is because the G5 teams can pay their bills, and the reason why they can pay their bills is because they're in our playoffs. So, if you don't want them in the playoffs, maybe you should not be allowed to poach their players. But they're not going to be available to be poached because that football is going to go downhill if it doesn't have the money that comes for playing us during the non-schedule, during the non-conference games and the playoffs. That is where they get most of their money. More scholarships for more student athletes. G6 football. We got a penalty here. We got a flag on Georgia Bulldogs. But a lot of people agree with Go Black 45. No question about it. No question about it. We got a 2nd and 17, 35-yard line. Gunner Stockton, shotgun. Is that Frazier? They gave the ball to Frazier, but a couple of yard loss. It's going to be 3rd down and a long ways to go. Long ways to go. Tom did a debate. I completely agree with you. 3rd down and 19. Kansas Hawks. We all knew what the rules were when the season started. No question about it. No question about it. Shotgun. 3rd and 20. My goodness. Stockton's going to run it. Georgia's going to have to punt it. A 7.0 earthquake has hit Alaska. 7.0 earthquake has hit Alaska. Edward the Auburn Tiger, this game has NFL talent all over it. Georgia's going to have to punt it to Bama. Thank you, Dave Valinsky, Mr. Gopher. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you, Bill G, for your generosity. Okay, Bama's going to start it at their 17.5-yard line. 1st down and 10. 1st down and 10. Congratulations to UConn Husky football. Jason Candle is the new head coach, coming from Toledo to UConn. An excellent pickup by the UConn Huskies. You are spinning today, Greg. You are spinning today. KU Hawks, if Alabama loses by 1, they should be out. 3 losses and won those to a garbage Florida State team. If Alabama loses by 1, they're going to be in the tournament. They are going to remain in the tournament. Just like SMU lost a close conference championship game, they remain in the tournament. Last year when they lost to Clemson, I think Alabama is going to be in it. The question is if they get their doors blown off. Because they're going to move down BYU. They're going to move down BYU, right? Everybody agree with that? They're going to move down BYU? It may be a moot point because it might not be a blowout today. I did not see that Illinois State defeated North Dakota State. I did not see that. Wow. All I know is Illinois State had a new quarterback this year. That's all I remember. They had a new quarterback this year. The former Gopher boy, Annexstad, he graduated last year after being their quarterback for 2 years. He was a pretty good quarterback. Terry Nord, North Dakota State Bison lost 29-28. Illinois State. Annexstad was just their quarterback last year, Nord, and the year before. How proud of himself is Yormark? Which gives me to another comment that Yormark said today. But I'm going to go ahead. I have chosen to take the positive road. This is John Kurtz. John Kurtz, you all know who John Kurtz is. Brett Yormark says of today he still supports the 5+11, but he's had conversations recently with other commissioners about different formats. Well, I did not like that first part of what Yormark said. I did not like this. Brett Yormark says he still supports the 5+11, which is ridiculous. But because he said he had conversations recently with other commissioners about different formats, I said I choose to look at this latest info from my good friend John Kurtz as a positive moment. Instead of getting up on my soapbox today, talking about how Brett Yormark, once again, is foolish for supporting the 5+11, I am going to be taking that as a positive movement, positive moment. Alabama is going to be 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. Mora took the Colorado State Rams job. Greg, I hear you're on the short list of the vacant defensive line coach. Tough Tony, Dave Valinsky, and Terry Nord. The 3 Gophers that are in the chat room right now. There may be others. I got a little bit of information on that if you want to hold on for a moment. 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3. Big down. Man in motion. And they give it to the man in motion. He ain't going nowhere. He got absolutely... Again, Alabama can't run the ball. Alabama can't run the ball. And RB1 Jam Miller is out. Alabama can't run the ball. Anyways, on the Gophers situation, there may be a situation, very well could be, where we had a defensive line coach, but we also had a position coach that was the coach for the rush ends. Okay? The defensive line coach got dismissed, and the rush end coach, I think, is going to take over the defensive line job. The rush end position for the Golden Gophers lit it up this year. Carl Mentz, who's really coming on strong, and a guy named Anthony Smith for your beloved Minnesota Golden Gophers. Anthony Smith got 10.5 sacks this year. Everybody expected Anthony Smith to enter his name into the NFL draft. On senior day against the Wisconsin Badgers, Anthony Smith did the senior walk. But he does have one more year of eligibility. And it sounds like Anthony Smith is seriously considering coming back to Minnesota. And this may have been one of those things, allegedly, may have been one of his, not requests, but knowing that he has flourished and have a great relationship with the rush end position coach. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna spell out the rest of it, but Anthony Smith, the great rush defensive end of the Minnesota Golden Gophers, may be coming back next year, which the Gophers desperately need. So there's a lot to that story. Allegedly. Okay. Bama can't run the ball. Bama cannot run the ball. We've got a super chat, Mr. Gopher. Didn't know that the former Central Michigan coach from the 1970s, Roy Kramer, was the SEC commissioner. Yeah. Thank you for the $5 holler, Dave Valinsky. Very much. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so very much. Thank you, sir. Greg is the next head coach in Minnesota. He has the job title head coach in waiting. Buckeye Greg. I would not want to be a member of any organization that would want me to be a member of that said organization. First down and 10, Georgia at their 30-yard line. Stockton back to pass, flat pass, that's getting nothing. Absolutely nothing. We got a second down and 10, possibly 11. Again, earlier today, the Red Raiders 34, BYU 7. 34-7. The Red Baron Morton, 20 of 33, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Injured Bear Bachmeier, 16 of 27, 115 yards, 2 interceptions. And the two interceptions was from the great other linebacker of the Red Raiders, Ben Roberts. Ben Roberts. We often talk about the Buckness Award winner, the best linebacker in college football, Jacob Rodriguez. Well, they've got another linebacker, and I think he's a freshman or a sophomore, if I remember correctly, Ben Roberts of the Red Raiders. We talked about earlier, Terry Nord put a comment in the comments section that North Dakota State lost to Illinois State. One of their best players last year, if not their best player last year, was a secondary player called Cold Wazinski. And I forgot that he went in the portal and he was picked up by the Red Raiders. And he made a couple of plays today for the Red Raiders. Stormy Cyclone, hello, Greg, as a fan. This has been the most emotional 24 hours. Campbell leaving, a new coach in 57 minutes. Jimmy Rogers, and beating number 1 Purdue in basketball today at Mackey, at Purdue. The Cyclones crushed the Purdue Boilermakers. Jimmy Rogers. I've talked about Jimmy Rogers before. Before he became the head coach of the South Dakota State Jackrabbits and won the national championship. Ooh, he almost got that. It's gonna be 4th and 1. What does Georgia do here? What does Georgia do? 4th and 1. Jimmy Rogers was the defensive coordinator of South Dakota State. And, no, they're going to punt it. Georgia is going to punt it at their own 39-yard line, 4th and 1. Jimmy Rogers has a defense at South Dakota State that confused the hell out of their opponents, and they confused the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The year that Minnesota finished 10th in the nation, and beat Auburn on a January 1st bowl game in 2019, the very first game of the season was the Golden Gophers versus the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. And South Dakota had the Gophers in trouble until about the middle of the 4th quarter. And that was a Jimmy Rogers-led defense. So once again, the Iowa State Cyclones are probably going to have a very good defense under Jimmy Rogers. Alabama, Ty Simpson, first down. First down, Bama at the 20-yard line. Gophers play the Cyclones. In volleyball tonight, the winner goes to the Sweet 16. First down and 10. Man in motion. Handoff. Got about a yard and a half. It's going to be 2nd and 8.5. 2nd and 8.5. Does anybody believe that BYU should have played a different quarterback in the second half of the football game today? At halftime, I put out a post on X putting that question up because you could tell that Bear Bachmeier, he was injured, not just hurt, in my opinion. Simpson kept it and he got squashed. Simpson got squashed by Harris. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Bama has run the ball for 5 times for 8 yards. Georgia 3 times for 6 yards. The defenses early have dominated this football game. We got a 3rd and 9. I do not prefer either one of them. They're both evil, Dave Valinsky. They're both evil. Not at the level of the evil Badgers and the Hawkeyes. Incomplete, well covered. Georgia has just fantastic safeties. Bolton, my goodness. Bama's going to have to punt it. The SEC just looks different. Yeah, I see that. Look at that bad pass by the quarterback, Ty Simpson. You know, if the Southeastern Conference can get a team in the championship game, then the Southeastern Conference might start looking different than they have been the last 2 years. Blocked! Punt! Georgia at the 21-yard line. First down and 10, Georgia. Block punt of Alabama. Bison fans are insufferable. Terry Nord. Wow. Block punt. Oh my, oh my God. Valinsky, my friend, played for the Bison, so I'm a little bit more on the Bison. That was a high snap. High snap. Kalen DeBoer not happy. Bama going to beat Georgia? I think Georgia's going to blow the doors off of Bama. I believe the Bulldogs are going to blow the door. Frazier! 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 Frazier down to the 7-yard line. Give that man the rock. Got to give him the rock. Got to give him the rock. Finally, Kirby Smart is listening to me. Finally, Kirby Smart is listening to me. Give that man the rock. He ain't going to fumble. He ain't going to fumble. Give him the ball. Trust your guy. Trust your guy. Give him the ball again. Frazier! All right. All right. Keep Bama defense honest. Craig, I know you saw the recruiting rankings, Big Ten with 3 of the top 5. I don't know. I keep up with it a little bit, but I don't know, guys. I'm not. There's such an imbalance in numbers of the high school class. Georgia down to the 1-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal. These high school recruiting classes, there's such a wide range of committed players to each team, and that does a lot to the rankings. I don't know. All I know is that the talent is being more spread out than ever. Less than 50% of the 5-star players are not going to the Southeastern Conference. Bud Elliott has a whole bunch of stats up there on his X account if you want to go watch it. Georgia! Touchdown! 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 I am Greg the Cooler. I am Greg the Loser. I am the re-elected mayor of Loserville City. But when the conference championship games begin and when the playoffs games begin, the fat guy from Minnesota begins. It takes me a lot longer time to lather up. I'm not like you young heathens. I need more action. I need to carry the rock more times. But when I get lathered up, I cannot be stopped. The Georgia Bulldogs are going to blow the doors out the Crimson Tide of Alabama. 7-0 Georgia. Woo! All right. We've got the Evil Badger. The Evil Badger, the nicest Evil Badger in the country. Apparently, the Wisconsin Athletic Department wants to do everything to save Fickle's job. Because if his job gets saved, McIntosh's job gets saved, right? Wisconsin has dropped the Pitt game and replaced it with Eastern Michigan. I'm a very upset Evil Badger. Okay, on one hand, now do they have another P4 opponent after do they have 10 P4 opponents in the year that they dropped the Pitt game? Evil Badger. As long as they have 10 P4 games, I'd be okay with it. Eastern Michigan is the poorest. Well, no. Akron or Eastern Michigan are the poorest MAC schools. Eastern Michigan is barely surviving. So University of Wisconsin-Madison is going to be writing them a good check. But yeah, I don't know. Thank you, Evil Badger. Thank you for the $10 holler. Fickle's trying to save his job. McIntosh is trying to save his job. There you go, Evil Badger. There you go. So you're okay. You're okay. That's okay. Give Eastern Michigan some of that Madison money. Thank you, Evil Badger. Thank you for your generosity once again. Very much appreciate it. Tough Tony. Magically, Greg the Iceberg is transforming into Jimmy the Greek. Absolutely. Don Scruggs, the Georgia Bulldogs. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Bulldogs are starting fast. Let's get it on. Josh McCray left Illinois and has been non-existent at Georgia. Yeah, and Illinois missed him, too. They missed him. That's too bad. Again, Nate Frazier, give him the rock. Give him the rock. Kicking it off. 7-0. Now I asked this. Now a lot of people look. I'm not anti-Alabama. My mother, that I love so dearly, 92-year-old Maxine Catherine Roney Flugar, is a big Alabama fan. I'm just saying, I got to ask this question. What if Bama gets their doors blown off today? What if that happens? Do they still remain in the playoffs? I got to ask that question. I want that question to marinate in your brains here as this game unfolds. Bama is trying to run on Georgia, and they're not going to be able to run on Georgia. They're not going to be able to run on Georgia. Ty Simpson is going to have to go through the air. Bernard, he's just going to have to throw, run him out of the pocket, roll him out. AMAC is in the house. Back Bay is in the house. He's saying Alabama out if Alabama gets their doors blown out. I'm absolutely Alabama hater. KU Hawks. Shotgun. Simpson dumps it off. Good tackle. Good tackle by Georgia. It's going to be 3rd and 4. Roll Simpson out here. Roll Simpson out, Alabama. He makes pretty good decisions on his feet when he's running. Get him out of trouble. ABC reported that the Texas Tech BYU, during the Texas Tech BYU game, that Notre Dame getting over Miami head-to-head loss would be the first time. First time with both teams having the same record. There we go. Completion. First down. Williams stays on his feet. Down at the 48-yard line of Georgia. We got a first down. Bama. And again, my question to that is, why don't you have Miami ahead of Notre Dame right now? Why don't you have Miami ahead of Notre Dame right now? God, it makes no logical sense at all. Simpson back to pass. What a throw. What a throw, but a good defensive play. I tell you, Simpson can play, man. Simpson can play, and I had my doubts in the offseason. I don't have any doubts now. The kid can play. The kid can absolutely play. 2nd down and 10. Simpson, Stockton. Another good tackle. 3rd down. Stormy Cyclone 6 weeks ago, I would have never believed that Drake Ratzlaff would be in the playoffs and BYU would not. Tulane is going to be either the 11th seed or the 12th seed in the playoffs. 3rd and 6. Got to get to the 39-yard line. Bam is at the 45 of Georgia. Simpson back to pass. Picked off. 40, 50, 40. No, down to the 41. We might have a face mask on Georgia on that return. It's going to be Georgia's ball. Everett with the interception. Off a deflection. There might be a face mask on Everett. The ball might be coming back a little bit here. 1st down, Georgia. Yeah, that was deflected. Great defensive play by the linebacker of Georgia. We might be having a face mask on the Georgia Everett, who returned that football. It looked like a pretty good face mask here with the stiff arm. Did I see that correctly? Did I see that correctly? I do not hear the announcer, so I don't know. Oh, both guys had a face mask, but Everett face mask was worse. First down and 10, Georgia. 7-0 Bulldogs. Handoff. Couple yards. Couple of yards by Georgia. They gave the ball to Josh McCray there. It's going to be 2nd and 8. Second and 8 at the 45-yard line. Play action, totally fooled. Alabama, the defensive lineman, number 31, crashed down. It's going to be 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3. And Georgia might be at that spot where they're going to go for it on 4th down. Back to pass. Everybody's well covered. Gunner's going to have to run for it. It's close. It's very close, but they're going to give it to him. 1st down, Georgia. We got 19 seconds to go in the first quarter. That might have been the last play of the first quarter. 7-0. 7-0 Georgia. Guys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to be 2 seconds here. I'll be right back. Okay, when the second quarter starts, Georgia is going to have it first down inside, a little bit inside Alabama's territory, 7-0. Georgia has a block punt and an interception. So Georgia's special teams and defense is giving the Georgia offense some short fields here. Alabama cannot get their running game going. They're going to have to rely on Simpson and some pretty talented wide receivers. It would help if the Bama defense can make some big plays defensively. Later tonight is going to be the Virginia Cavaliers versus the Duke Blue Devils. Congratulations to Manny Diaz and Tony Elliott for two great results, two great seasons for both programs. Virginia Cavaliers are in the ACC championship game. Third year for Tony Elliott, and he says the whole thing is surreal to him. Unbelievable job. Unbelievable job. Manny Diaz of Duke, one of those two teams is going to be your ACC champion. And we got another very kind super chat from the Evil Badgers. Evil Badger, Greg, you know that Sankey wants all of the at-large bids to be SEC teams because he's trying to steal a natty. I'm of two minds on this. I would expect a commissioner to put out some propaganda for the teams heading into the Sunday when the committee meets. So I want to rip on Sankey, but let's just wait to see what happens today in this football game and others. We'll see what happens on Sunday. And if Sankey goes after the committee on Sunday, then I'm going to go after Sankey. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, second and 9. Thank you for the $5 holla. Thank you for the $5 holla. Frazier! 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 First down, Frazier! They're finally giving him the rock. Finally. He's too good of an athlete. You got to give him the ball. He ain't gonna fumble. Frazier's not gonna fumble. Give him the rock again. He's getting lathered up. Don't let him cool off. Don't let Frazier cool off. Second down and 8. First down carry by Bowens, 2 yards. At the 33-yard line. Oh, God, he got stuck. Bowens got absolutely stuck on that. Frazier was running the ball too good, ladies and gentlemen. Kirby Smart cannot allow that to happen. Kirby Smart cannot allow Frazier to get going. Now Cash Jones, a great third down back, is lined up with Stockton, and Gunner's going to keep it. Oh my gosh, that late push might have got him first down. No, it's going to be 4th and 3/4 yard. 4th down and 3/4 yard to go for first down. Oh, that's a first down. Hold on. No, that's a first down. No, he got to that line. Oh, he got it now on a quarterback sneak. His knees did not hit until he hit that line. Wow. That was a first down, but anyways, they got it on the fourth down. Imbalanced line by Alabama. Gunnar Stockton takes it over the left side. First down, Georgia. "23-yard line. Rollout. Oh, good defense. Frazier got hit. Frazier's down. He's up. He's all right. Shake it off, young man. Shake it off. Second out and 10. Bubble screen branch. That's the call. Bubble screen branch. Nope. Oh boy. Wow. First down inside the 5-yard line. Dillian Bell, the big tight end. Oh man, he was wide open. Wow, he was wide open. First down and goal for Georgia inside the 5-yard line. We got it bunched right. We got a few tight ends bunched right. Frazier goes left and he gets mauled. They went weak side on that, and Alabama snuffed it out at second and goal. Second and goal. Oh, you do not want to get in it with Frazier. No, that's not Frazier. That's Josh McCray. Flag on pre-snap penalty, false start on Georgia. It's going to be second and goal. And he says, hell no, if Bama gets blown out, I better not see them in the top 13. Second and goal, 7-0 Georgia. 9:36 to go in the first half. It's been a quick first half. Gunner's going to keep it. Gunner gets down to the 5-yard line. 3rd and 5. What's the play call, ladies and gentlemen? What's the play call? What is the play call? Touchdown! They're not guarding Dillian Bell. They're not guarding the bell. Touchdown! 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 14-0. Georgia. I put up the extra point. I'm not Greg the Cooler today. I'm not Greg the Cooler today. In fact, let's just do it now, guys. We have not played. Hold on. Everybody relax. Everybody hold on here. We got to do something that we have not done in 9 weeks. We're about to do something here that we have not done in 9 weeks. Why? Because I have been Greg the Cooler for 9 weeks. Greg the Loser for 9 weeks. But again, when the conference championship games begin, when the playoffs begin, I am no longer Greg the Cooler. I am no longer Greg the Cooler. As I said on yesterday's show, the day before, this was going to be Georgia's game against Bama. And, well, let's just say it is time for, you know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Greg the Gold, Georgia Bulldogs, SEC Championship, the Fighting Irish in the Miami Hurricanes in Texas A&M, the 7th seed, against Miami, the 10th seed. Oklahoma, the 8th seed, versus the number 9 seed, Notre Dame. Sixth seed Ole Miss versus 11th seed Virginia, and Oregon versus Tulane. Greg the Gold has spoken. All right, here we go. Alabama is looking crushed now. Did Greg the Gold, did I screw it all up? Did I screw it all up? I think so, Husker Magic. I think so. I believe so. I believe so. Vox Quindaro's in the house. Here we go. 25-yard line, first down and 10. Bama. Simpson gets it out there. Good play by Williams. Ryan Williams! Holy smokes. First down, Bama. He put on the Jets, young man. He put on the Jets. Wow. Woo! Woo-hoo! What's the call? What is the call? Who's calling a timeout? who is calling a timeout. Okay, his foot might have been out of bounds 3 yards after the first down marker. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? What is going on here? Sources confirm that Nebraska is hiring Georgia Tech's Geep Way to replace Donovan Raiola as the offensive line coach. So Donovan Raiola was let go? I didn't even know that. Good move by Nebraska. Good move, but I did not know they even did that. And what does that mean for Dylan Raiola, the quarterback? What does that mean for Dylan Raiola? Is he definitely going to the portal? I didn't know that Coach Raiola. I don't know. I didn't even know. I had no idea that the Coach Raiola was no longer going to be the offensive line coach of Nebraska. I missed that news. I don't even know what the hell's going on anymore. So many things are going on. Okay, here we go. First down and 10, Alabama, 38-yard line. Man in motion, shotgun. Again, Bama has not been able to run the ball at all. Going back to pass again. Getting flushed out of the pocket. Simpson's going to have to throw it away. Again, Bama has rushed the ball for 6 times for 10 yards. Georgia, 16 times for 59 yards. Danielle Hill of Alabama, 3 carries for 9 yards. This Alabama rushing game is anemic. And it's not just anemic against SEC opponents, ladies and gentlemen. They couldn't do it against Florida State. Shotgun, back to pass. Simpson. Ball batted down. Simpson is going to have to win this game for Bama. Simpson is going to have to win this game for Bama. Do you think the Gophers should have fired their defensive line coach? Well, I explained it earlier why I think they did. The interior of the line of Minnesota did not have a good season. We knew they were not going to have a good season. They have not had depth. They've missed recruiting. They did terrible in the portal. So, if all that is the responsibility of the defensive line coach, then he probably should have been let go. Plus, I think it was a play to keep Anthony Smith on board. We'll find that out later. So Bama's going to have to punt it here. Georgia's going to start at first down and 10 at their 20-yard line. 7:29 to go in the first half. No problem, Dave. No problem. BYU is a fraud. I would not call BYU a fraud. I do think BYU is a couple levels, I think there's a couple levels between BYU and Texas Tech. I think that's obvious. And Bear Bachmeier got hurt today. That didn't help. BYU had a very, very good season. And I think they are a playoff team if the playoffs were bigger than 12 teams, as it should be. But they're not in Texas Tech's... the Red Raiders are They are a threat to win the whole thing, in my opinion. And it has been for like a couple of months. Here we go. People are finally talking about it. Adam Rittenberg, if the committee flipped Alabama and Notre Dame for no good reason last week, what's to stop them from flipping them back if the Tide are blown out? Could then justify keeping Miami out. Not saying it's right, but this was my projection for December 7th, tomorrow. I figured that Bama was going to lose enough to where they flipped Notre Dame and Alabama. But again, if Alabama gets entirely blown out, I think they're going to put Miami in there. I don't see why not. Because there's no way that there's a lot of difference between Miami and Alabama. There cannot be, in the committee's eyes, there cannot be that big a difference between Alabama, Notre Dame, and Miami. They just flipped Alabama and Notre Dame based on I don't know what. So they have to be very close. And we know that Notre Dame and Miami are very close in the committee's eyes. So look, Alabama controls their destiny here. Lose this game, play a competitive game, they're in. Get blown out. Well, then buckle up and brace for impact. Greg, if they're ignoring head-to-head on some level between Miami and Notre Dame, that they would ignore shared opponent FSU, Florida, Miami, I got a cheeseburger for you. Oh, Dylan Bell's playing a game. Well, look, I got a feeling that tomorrow's gonna be a good day. Tomorrow's gonna be a good day. Tomorrow's gonna be a good Miami day. That's all I'm saying. Because I said at the beginning of this football game, Alabama's gonna get their doors blown off. And if they do, I think Miami and Notre Dame are both in. I think we are quickly turning from Miami and Notre Dame fans bickering at each other, from Notre Dame and Miami fans combining forces and bickering at the Crimson Tide of Alabama fans. That is what I think is about to happen. 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. That should have been a loss for yards on that play. Third down about 5-6 yards, I believe. Alabama snuffed that play out. The ball is at the 36-yard line, 3rd down and 6, 5:50 to go. Stockton shotgun. Alabama's got everybody at the line. Go deep with this. Bam! Bam! There you go. Miscommunication. Miscommunication between Gunner Stockton and the receiver. Georgia's going to have to punt it. When did... Here we go. Okay. So it was reported an hour ago, Huskers part way with offensive line coach Donovan Raiola. Now, number one, this was the correct move by Matt Rule. Because that offensive line under Donovan Raiola has been bad. Okay? Now, the question is, what happens to Dylan Raiola now that his uncle Donovan Raiola has been let go? I got a feeling that Dylan Raiola is going to be in the portal. And if Dylan Raiola is going to be in the portal, and I know Don Scruggs, and a lot of people are saying, you know, Greg, Dylan Raiola's not any good. He's good. He's got to play for an offensive line that can actually block. But he's got to learn to get rid of the football. But he's good. And if he's going in the portal, a lot of teams are going to be going after Dylan Raiola. I think Miami Hurricanes might go after Dylan Raiola. I know they're getting tired of always being the team that gets brought up anytime a good quarterback goes in the portal. But Miami has a pretty dang good recent history with transfer quarterbacks. Who else? Clemson. Florida State, LSU, Dylan Raiola going with Lane Kiffin to LSU. No. California's quarterback is staying at California. The new head coach went on an airplane, a commercial airplane, and flew hours to Hawaii and talked to the quarterback from like 12:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the morning. And the quarterback said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying at California. And then the head coach got back on an airplane. He is staying at California. Raiola will be in Happy Valley next year. Interesting. They were decent at run blocking. EJ had a lot of yards on his own. But you're correct. They're decent they're pretty good at run, but man, they're terrible pass blocking. But good point, Tony. Good point. 2nd and 7. 28-yard line. Williams, twisted move. Great move. The dancing. Wide receiver Williams. Great run. We've got a 3rd and a couple of yards here. This is a big play for Bama. They do not want to give Georgia the football again before the end of the half. This is 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. This is a monster of a play at the 33-yard line. Again, Bama can't run it, so they got to throw it incomplete. Bad throw, but he was covered. It would have been close. Bama's got to punt it. Bama cannot run the football. Bama cannot run the football. Alabama's got a very good football team, guys. I'm not trying to... They got a very good football team. And look, Notre Dame still doesn't really have the wide receivers that can make the big plays. Miami, sometimes they suffer in the running game themselves, although I think they got that a little bit figured out now. Forget the guy's name. What's Miami's young running back? Gibbons. Somebody help me. Miami Hurricanes running back that they're starting to feature. Fletcher is still coming in on third downs, doing his thing. Miami's got a running back. There it is. There it is. Bubble screen to Branch. We've been waiting for it. First down. First down, Georgia. Bubble screen to Branch. That's his play. I don't know. Rock and Rant must not be in the chat room anymore. Not Fletcher. They got a young running back with some juice here. Kind of like what Bo Jackson is doing for the Buckeyes, but on a much smaller scale. Whoever that is, Miami's running game has improved because of that switch. Dylan Bell's having a first half here, guys. Dylan Bell is dominating this football game. Pringle. Thank you, Kalani. Now, that's just another example of where my... That's another example of where I'm getting scared that my brain is starting to deteriorate faster than it should be. Pringle, yes. Pringle is giving Miami some juice. They got him in the game a lot at first downs. Fletcher is a good at picking up the blitz, Fletcher's a very good running back, but Miami's running game is a little bit more dynamic than it was when it was struggling at the middle of the season. What my point was, everybody's got a weakness. Almost everybody's got a weakness. So I'm picking on Alabama's weakness. Well, Notre Dame's got a weakness. Miami's had weaknesses. We're just seeing Alabama's weaknesses play out right now. They can't run the football. If you can't run the football, is the committee picking up on this? The selection committee that is sitting in their hotel rooms, having their hottie toddies, having their cocktails, having their shrimp cocktails, having their hors d'oeuvres, are they picking up on the fact that Bama cannot run the football? James Davis says, no, they're not. MBM, Georgia needs to take a shot downfield. Yes. Yes. You know, they did that bubble screen to Branch. They've been giving the ball a little bit to Frazier, a little bit to Bowens. And they really haven't did the play action go deep yet. They did on the last series when Alabama had everybody on a man press. All the Alabama players, they're basically playing zero coverage. And then Stockton wanted to go deep, but the wide receiver did not read the defense correctly. I think that's what happened. I would agree. Play action, take a shot deep. I agree. You're sharp, Flugar. I wouldn't be worried about it. Going through the old age mental thing with my father. You don't show the signs. I don't know. It's pronounced old. I don't know what it's. Order. Okay. I don't even know what I said. I can't pronounce any French word. I can't pronounce any Spanish words. I can't pronounce any English words. How can I pronounce the French words correctly? I think that's French. I don't know. Thank you, Vox. Appreciate it. Baylor has a new AD, Pete Thamel. How do I say this? Nobody's really listening to this program right now, correct? It's a watch party. There's really nobody here, correct? It's just me and a few of you guys. I'm going to say something, and I need you guys just to pick it up what I'm laying down. I can't be too specific about this, okay? But there are times when a certain people leave their current positions. It hurts the ability of some people to pick up the chatter behind the curtain. There are some people rolling out. It's going to be 3rd and 3, Gunner Stockton. There are some people at certain positions where it's loose lips sink ships, and some people don't leak. The people that leak, you don't want to see them leave. But it happens. It has to happen at some point. But I'm not naming anybody specifically. That's all I'm going to say. 3rd down and 3, 47-yard line. Gunner Stockton dumps it off. Oh, what a defensive play. 4th and 1. Stopped him from getting 1st down. Wow. Now, does Georgia go for it? That was one hell of a defensive play by number 8. Those are the type of plays that can turn around a game. What a monster defensive play. Holy smokes. Hey, that was good execution offensive. Maybe he should have gotten rid of the ball a little bit earlier. No, I'm not. I'm not naming anybody specific. I'm just talking here. I'm just talking. No, it was not a direct contact, not a direct source, but I'm not saying nothing. I know nothing. Georgia's got to punt it. No, they're not going to punt it. They're going to go for it. Alabama's got to call a timeout. Bama, call a timeout. Bama, call a timeout. Timeout. Good no timeout, Alabama. Good no timeout. When he says to kick it for 3. There was a particular athletic director in the Big Ten who changed his job and became an athletic director in the Southeastern Conference in the last couple of years. That also really hurt the chatter behind the curtain. 1st down, Georgia, Josh McCray. Wow, what a play. Josh McCray. That Georgia center, number 51, just got enough of the block on that guy that was trying to penetrate there for Alabama. Ball batted down. Alabama getting in the backfield a little bit here, 2nd down and 10. Deadeye, yo. Georgia will kick a field goal on the last play of the half. You're going on the naughty list for Lion Flugar. $14-0. Georgia. 46 seconds to go. Alabama trying to stand tall here. Very important defensive possession for the Crimson Tide. They're going to run it. Cash. He got nothing. Cash Jones got absolutely nothing. It's going to be 3rd down. Georgia's got 2 timeouts. Alabama's got 2 timeouts. We got a 3rd and 8. Gunner had to throw it away. Georgia's going to have to punt it. Keep your 14-0 lead. Punt that football. Good defense by Alabama. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think Alabama was looking for intentional grounding. And they should have been intentional grounding. Not that it's really going to matter. We've got a $2 holla. Super chat. Eat BLT plus cheese without solicitation and we'll know. I don't know what that means, John Teal. I would never eat a bacon, lettuce, and tomato and cheese sandwich. That's blasphemy. That's evil. That's an abomination. Thank you for the $2 holla, John Teal. I appreciate it so very much. Okay, guys, here we're going into halftime. What is Bama doing? Why did Bama... why are they throwing... what are they doing? What was Alabama doing on that play? Oh, got it. Thank you, John. John, I get it. See, I'm a little slow picking up on that. What was Alabama doing on that play? You can't go for the knees on that, but they're probably saying he was blocked into him. Why are you risking anything? Injury, turnover. Terrible play call. Terrible play call, Kalen DeBoer. Now Simpson's a little injured. You can tell he's injured a little bit. All right, guys. I'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes. $15, 20 minutes. Hey guys, I appreciate you all joining us for the first half. Please come back in the second half if you've got any time. I appreciate you all watching this football game with me. It's been a lot of fun. Georgia and Alabama, 14-0 Georgia. Alabama was with a good defensive stand at the end of the first half. Can they take that into the second half? Can they get something going on offense? It's going to have to be the Ty Simpson second half for Alabama to pull out this win. Ty Simpson is going to have to dominate because they cannot run the football. I'll be back in 15 to 20 minutes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Husan Longstreet hopefully starts next year over Maava Jose. Maava had a very good season this year. Longstreet equals Kyle Murray. Wow. Well, then Maava better get in the portal then. Don Scruggs, Merry Christmas, PATC Dog Ball is killing it. John Teal, I was thinking that Nebraska quarterback goes in the portal. USC could use a play of that talent. I don't know. I like Maava. Am I the only one that likes Maava? Stephen Vitt. I've stayed quiet for a while about the MAC tiebreaker system. I read those rules, but that was a joke. Miami of Ohio proved they did not belong. And again, who picked Western Michigan against the spread on our Wednesday show? It was your host right here. So far, it is James Madison 31, Troy 14, Friday night game. Tulane 34, North Texas 21. And we also had, of course, Western Michigan 23, Miami 13. Texas Tech 34, BYU 7. Duke and Virginia later tonight for the ACC championship game. The Buckeyes and the Hoosiers. Indiana and Ohio State Big Ten championship game. And the game we're watching, Georgia 14, Alabama 10. Now, can you imagine being a college student at James Madison, Saturday night, December 6th? I don't know if they're still in class or not. I don't know if they've gone. But those that have stuck around campus, who are of drinking age, can you imagine being on campus and watching that Duke Virginia game tonight? You're rooting for Duke with everything you've got to beat Virginia Cavaliers. Wow. Opie? No, Opie. No, Opie. No. We've already played Greg the Gold music today on our show. When it comes to the conference championship games, when it comes to the playoffs, Greg the Cooler becomes Greg the Gold. Bob did not make those playoff picks, those championship game picks. I turn it on to a whole new level. Alabama got nothing on that. I do like the play call, though. I do like the play call. Ty Simpson is going to have to win this game for Bama. They're going to have to win this game for Bama. So does a 10-3 Bama make the playoffs? Al Woody asked the question. I think a Bama that gets blown out tonight will not make the playoffs. I think it is that close between Bama, Notre Dame, and Miami. Alabama controls their own destiny right now. And Simpson is running for his life. And he throws it out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd and long. So it's Bob the Gold then. No. It is Greg the Gold during conference championship and the playoffs. We got a 3rd and 9 Alabama, Ty Simpson, again, he just got crushed. That pocket is collapsing. Georgia is not afraid of the running game. They just got the ears pinned back. There's nothing that Bama can do right now. Return. There's room. There's room. Down to the 39-yard line. Georgia with fantastic field position to begin the second half. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. And we got an injury. We've got ourselves an injury on the field. Greg the Gold is on a roll. Who do I have in the ACC Big Ten Championship game? Okay, this is what I took. I took Tulane. I took Boise State. I took Western Michigan. I took Texas Tech. Win, 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 win. I took Virginia and Ohio State. The Cavaliers and the Buckeyes. Thank you. What was that article about, Buckeye Greg? Buckeye Greg, I'm not getting any of your stuff anymore. I don't know what's going on. And that's also first down Georgia. Expedition Greg, put down your Twitter account on the chat here. I'm gonna go check something here. I already read that. I heard all that. I did hear Sankey say that. Down to the 10, down to the 9. First down, Georgia. Antoine Johnston, someone gifted me a membership a few days ago. Greg Disney Adventures, Expedition Greg, put down your X account in the chat room. I wanna see what's going on with why I'm not getting everything. We got a second and goal. Georgia. Steven Vitz says if Bama loses big, you have to kick them out. What do you think Paul Feinbaum is going to say right now? I did see the video, and I made a comment on it, I think, yesterday's live show. Second and goal. They're going to run that ball. Frazier! Frazier, touchdown!
Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a Fighting Irish and Hurricanes night. That's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. That it is what is going on. Miami and Notre Dame. Miami and Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Bama down 21. Bama's got a good team, but this team is so limited. And the injury of Jam Miller did not help at all. Don Scruggs, glory, glory to our Georgia. Glory, glory to our Georgia. Glory, glory to our Georgia. His truth is marching on. The Village Idiot, both are going to make it. No longer is this a bickering contest between the Hurricanes and the Irish. They're both in if this score holds. And I don't know who's going to be the 9th seed, and I don't know who's going to be the 10th seed. It should be Miami 9 and Notre Dame 10. But I think it's going to be Notre Dame 9 and Miami 10. If it is Notre Dame 9 and Miami 10, then you're going to have Notre Dame and Oklahoma in that first round. Texas A&M is number 7. Texas A&M has played Notre Dame. They beat Notre Dame. But I think oh boy. Look, I'm gonna get, even though I love the Bulldogs, I think the Bulldogs can win it all. Even though I think Georgia can win it all. I'm gonna get a bunch of Southeastern Conference hate mail, hate DMs after this game. But ladies and gentlemen, not only is Alabama going to be out of the playoffs, but that buffer zone, that defense, the Southeastern Conference wall comes tumbling down in the first round because Notre Dame and Miami versus Oklahoma and Texas A&M. I got a feeling that the Hurricanes and the Irish are going to be going to the second round of the playoffs. Now, I think Ole Miss is going to be okay because Ole Miss is going to be playing probably Virginia or possibly Tulane, but probably Virginia. And Oregon is going to be playing Tulane or James Madison. Now, this game's not over yet. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. But Alabama's got to put something now. Look, the whole committee is in the hotel room eating their hors d'oeuvres. They're having their cocktails, and they're watching this. They saw that Alabama got beaten up by Florida State. They know Alabama's a good team, but they know they are now incredibly limited. Alabama's got to put up some points. Alabama cannot go out 21-0. They may only drop Bama one spot down to 10. Woo! You know what? I think they make it. I think the committee is going to make it easy for themselves and not have to worry about the Miami Notre Dame dynamics, and they're going to put Alabama all the way out. If Bama keeps getting blown out tonight. Greg, I think Vanderbilt replaces Miami Notre Dame. I don't know how they can do that. That was a blown play by Bama on offense. Completely blown play. The running back or Ty Simpson was not where they were supposed to be. The running back position at Alabama is a complete disaster. 3rd and long. Oh, the quarterback got nailed. Flag is on the field. Bama's is all type of confusion. Another pre-snap penalty. Kalen DeBoer is yelling. He's yelling at the refs. Ryan Brooks, Lane Kiffin, getting some big-time recruits down in Baton Rouge. Thanks for coming on in, Ryan Brooks. Georgia is making a statement. The Bulldogs are making a statement to the Buckeyes. They're making a statement to the Ducks. They're making a statement to the Hoosiers. They're making a statement to the Red Raiders. The Bulldogs are making a statement to everybody tonight. Bama's got to punt the ball again. I'm excited. Blake is staying at LSU. Absolutely, Ryan Brooks. Absolutely. Buckeye Greg has... Expedition Greg is drinking some scarlet and gray Kool-Aid out there. They need to drop Georgia out of the top 4. That Kool-Aid is spiked with something. Bama's putting the football. Georgia's got it at the 34-yard line, 1st down and 10. Amazing, no Bama lineman got up in that game. Yeah. Somebody should protect Simpson on that play. Yeah, I think from a Miami and Notre Dame perspective, it couldn't have gone any better. It could not have gone any better. And I'm going to say this. There is no way, logically, that there could be much of a difference between Bama, the Irish, and the Hurricane. There cannot be much of a difference in the committee's eyes because they flipped Bama and Notre Dame on basically nothing. They're having this thing with the Hurricanes versus Notre Dame. It could go either way in the committee's eyes. So there's not much difference between the three. There's very little difference between the three. And Bama's getting blown out tonight. They're getting blown out tonight, just like we said before the game started. This is let me tell you something. If the committee only drops Bama one spot and they drop BYU 2 spots, if they drop BYU behind Miami and Vanderbilt, well, in one way, that's going to be incredible injustice. In the other hand, I love the smell of napalm in the morning because DEFCON 1 is going to turn into a hot war. Tough Tony. Bama's defense needs a stop or this may get out of hand. We've got a very kind super chat that has just come in. John Till. Ogeron. $2 holler, John Till. All LSU has to do is hire the coach Orgeron for the DL, for the defensive line. I haven't heard anything. Ryan Brooks, if you've heard of any rumors about Orgeron, what type of position he could take with Lane Kiffin, an advisory role, a coaching position role, let me know, Ryan Brooks or any other LSU Tiger. Fake pitch, Dillian Bell. That is the only time that Bama has stopped Bell in this game. Dillian Bell has been absolutely terrific in this football game. Absolutely terrific. Reggie Virgil, the wide receiver of the Red Raiders, had a fantastic game. The linebacker Roberts had a fantastic game for the Red Raiders. Congratulations to the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Recruiter lead, maybe. Stockton. He's trying to run out of there. He does! Only 2 yards away from a first down. It could have been a big old sack. Georgia is like a boa constrictor. Correctly said, B. Bean. Thank you, Expedition Greg. I appreciate it. I did already hear what Sankey said, though. And we talked about it yesterday. Unless this is a new video. Hummus Hero. Stockton, 3rd and 2. First down. Hummus Hero. Sankey's calling Kirby right now and telling him to let Bama score a couple touchdowns. Good throw by Gunnar Stockton. Again, Alabama. Been able to run the ball just good enough to slow down the pass rush of Bama. Georgia. 106 yards on 26 carries. Georgia. 106 yards rushing on 26 carries. Bama, 8 yards on 12 carries. 8 yards on 12 carries. Shotgun. Stockton. Back to pass. There's guys open, man. There's guys open. Good completion. It's going to be about 2nd and 3 1/3 yards. 2nd down and 3 1/3 yards for the Georgia Bulldogs. 71 Big E's. I bet you next year the college football playoff will be 16 or 24 teams. Well, we are the captain here. 4th and 4. I did not know that was a 3rd down play. 4th and 4. Georgia punting. I am the captain of the army of 24. 24 team playoffs. 4-4-4-4-2-6. The ball is in the end zone. First down and 10 for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Go Black 45, thanks for coming on in. Coach O would be a consultant and a co-recruiter. Michael Smith, thanks for coming on in. Both Miami and Notre Dame would hold off that weak pass rush and run all over Bama. Hard to run all over Bama. Very difficult. Bama needed that stop, and they got the stop. 1/3 yard is also known as a foot. Maybe outside of Minnesota, it's known as a foot. But here in Minnesota, it's known as 1/3 of a yard. Georgia, Ohio State final would be epic. Yeah, that would be sensational. That would be something else. Okay, let's see if there's any news out there, any reports. Are any of the reporters picking up what we have been laying down here? Some of them have. Some of them have. Some of them are speaking on the possibility that Bama cousin Shane of SEC is saying put Vandy in. Put Vanderbilt into the playoffs. Wouldn't that be something if they put Vanderbilt over Miami and Notre Dame and, of course, Alabama? Adam Kramer. Okay, Alabama, all you had to do is not play like complete dog bleep and you're in the playoff. Alabama about to drop that big chili right on the carpet. And here is Adam Lichtenstein, the Miami beat writer, Irish Muse. Notre Dame and Miami fans seeing this Bama game. Both is good. Both. First down and 10, Bama at the 20-yard line. Simpson back to pass. He's got no other choice. Looks like that was for a couple of yards. Receiver fell down. Bama had a good season overall, but not a playoff team. Imagine if the Southeastern Conference game did not exist. That Bama team would be in the playoffs. Cousin Dude is freaking out. Yeah, I think he's saying it for more of, I don't know. Maybe he's serious. Maybe he's just saying that to get people riled up. That would be ridiculous, though. I mean, that would be, again, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. I'm ready for something monster to happen like that. John Till, Super Chat. We got a 3rd and 4. 26-yard line. Bama needs this first down. Bama needs this first down. Empty backfield. Wide open, but the tackle, no, broke it. First down, Bama. No, they're counting him down. I don't know what they're doing. Was he down? Did his knee hit? Oh, his foot went out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the heel came down. Bama's got to punt it. John Teal, Bama getting treated like a bowl of onion hummus at a Democratic pep rally at the Pacific Northwest. Again, John Teal, I'm not quite sure what you're saying in your super chats, but I do appreciate your generosity. Thank you for your $5 holla. Onion hummus. All right. Thank you, John Teal. Appreciate it, my friend. Not the best punt in the world. Georgia's going to get it at first down and 10 at their 35-yard line. Thank you, John Teal. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know, guys. First down and 10, 3:48 to go. Frazier! No! Frazier! Frazier! Keep giving the ball to Frazier. Now you got him all lathered up. There is no reason to take Frazier out now. I know what you like to do, Kirby. Every time he has a good run, you take him out. You're playing some psychological warfare with Nate Frazier. Give him the ball again. Give it to him again. Look at that cut. Look at that. First down. Give it to him again. Woody, just protect the ball. Don't worry about protecting the ball. Carry it like a loaf of bread. Give it to Nate Frazier. Nah, they took him out. They put Josh McCray in. Okay, give the ball to Josh McCray. Give Frazier a breather. Give Frazier a breather. What do we got? Pre-snap penalty. All right, now Georgia. This is where you run that bubble to Zachariah, the branch again. Zachariah branch. You ran it once in the first half. This is the spot where you run it in the second half. Bubble screen, branch. Bubble screen, branch. Nope, they're not going to run it because they don't even have him in there. Dylan Bell. Good 5-yard run. This is Howard Cosell. Miami's got the oranges, but Buffalo's got the juice. 82 yards of total offense. Thank you, Jose. I did not know it was that bad. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Penn State and Clemson. Pinstripe Bowl. Bama came downhill. Took Josh McCray down. It's going to be 3rd and long. Penn State versus Clemson. I cannot do that, Don Scruggs. You're going to have to let Alabama score some points. You're going to, look, you're going to have to make Paul Feinbaum happy. Georgia's going to have to punt the ball. Okay, Don Scruggs. For you, I will play the mariachi for just a little bit. championship game. Who let the dogs out? All my construction crews thanks you. Kirby's taking his foot off the gas for the SEC Sankey. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Notre Dame, look, the ACC network and ESPN are really pouring it on. Good play by Ty Simpson. Tight end, first down Alabama, down to the 31-yard line. First down Bama. Notre Dame recruiting account on X. ESPN forcibly pushing Miami to be over Notre Dame is pretty insane. Shout out to Pete Bavacqua for his appearance on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. But if somehow Miami jumps Notre Dame magically despite not playing this weekend, that's solely because the committee listened to the media. And you can see the comment right here by Rockin' Rant. Studzilla, Greg, are you getting on, staying off the Big Ten or ACC games? I don't think so. My sister Sue is over taking care of my mother, and I think she's going to leave. She's got a long trip to make, so. This is the game that I could, now, I might do, it is possible that I might do a late night reaction show. Like at 10 o'clock Central Time tonight. But I'm not going to be able to go and do a 4-hour show like I do with these watch parties. Steven Vitt, Bama scoring 0 would be beautiful. Deadeye Yo. Deadeye is agreeing with that. Bama's got to put up some points here. Psychologically, that 0 looks ugly. After 3 quarters, it's 21-0. The last time that Alabama was shut out was November 18, 2000 by Auburn in the Iron Bowl in Tuscaloosa. Mike DuBois' last game as the Alabama head coach. Mike Shula managed never to get shut out as the Alabama head coach. I remember the Minnesota Golden Gophers. My beloved Golden Gophers defeated a Mike Shula Alabama team in a bowl game. Okay, Bracket Cat, put Miami, Notre Dame both in. If Bama doesn't score a point, yeah. I think we're getting closer and closer to that becoming a reality. Bracket Cat. Michael Smith, I got a feeling Ohio State and Indy might be the similar outcome. It might be the similar outcome. I don't think so. But if it's a similar outcome, both teams are going to score. I think it's going to be a different type of game. If it's the Buckeyes win by 20, I still think Indiana's going to move the ball. You're not going to have one, even though the Buckeyes have a great defense and Indiana has a great defense, you're not going to have one of those teams have 80 yards of offense, in my opinion. We had a sack, but we do have a flag on the field. Kirby Smart is chewing out his player for a bad penalty there. Personal foul. "14 minutes to go. Bama needs something to happen." Oh, was it tipped? The tight end got it. That was something they needed to happen. First down and 10 at the 41. Simpson's pass was tipped. It fell into the tight end's hands. Okay, that might be the play for Bama to score some points. 41-yard line. Simpson, couple yard gain. That might be the play there. That might be the play. Rock and rant. All the college football playoff corruption committee will do is say that Georgia is a juggernaut that Alabama beat early head-to-head, then move them one spot down to keep Miami and Notre Dame separated. They moved Alabama a spot down by beating Auburn by 7. And now they're only going to move them one spot back by getting blown out by, I don't know. I think Bama's in trouble. You know what? I think it's way easier for them to move Bama out of the tournament. I sound like a schmuck right now. I sound like a naive little boy when I say this. I think they're going to move Bama out. Oh, pass interference on Georgia. Here comes Bama. Dead-eye, Bama's getting some points here. Wow. Florida has the longest streak without being shut out. 470 games. My goodness. You think they aren't afraid of the wrath of Sankey and the death of the conference championship games? Yeah, I think they're afraid of Sankey. I would agree with that. Simpson. Over the head. 2nd down and 10. B. Bean. Lots of teams exercising demons this year. Buckeyes beating Michigan. Georgia beating Bama. Texas Tech winning the Big 12. Opie, would not the Big 10 want Bama out, Vandy in, Miami in, Notre Dame out? I don't know what the Big 10 would want. I don't think they're too much worried about it. Oh, he should have had that. Williams, you should have came down with that. Did the guy knock it away? Oh, he just dropped that. That's a drop. Yeah, he just dropped it. That was a good pass. Williams just went right through his hands. Kalen DeBoer is like, what the heck is going on out there? 3rd down and 10. Simpson. He's doing all that he can. All that he can. That's a great play. That's a great play. That's a great play. Touchdown, Bama! Is that enough? They get the touchdown they need.
Touchdown! Touchdown!
Jeremy Bernard. Is that enough for Bama? Let the playoff chaos begin. Let the playoff chaos begin. Did I? Greg, Bama's going to come back and win now. Even if Bama loses, its resume is better than Notre Dame by far. Notre Dame should not be in the playoffs, period. Well, if that was the case, why, and you might have that opinion, but the committee does not have that opinion, because the playoff committee had Notre Dame ahead of Alabama before Alabama had that incredible victory over Auburn, and Notre Dame only beat Stanford by 29. So the committee has Alabama and Notre Dame in Miami very, 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 very close to each other. So this result of this SEC championship game is mighty important. Did they just punch their ticket into the playoffs? Good screen by the ref. Was that enough? Bama kicking it off to Georgia. All right, Bama. Bama's got to get this ball back here. They got to stop Georgia, get it back, score another touchdown, another field goal. Make sure you do enough to get in the playoffs. Was that touchdown enough? Steven Vitt doesn't see Bama scoring again. It's going to be 2nd and 2. Bama's win over Georgia in Athens is the best win of Miami, Notre Dame, and Alabama. Stanford is a 4-win team. No question about it, Brad. But Notre Dame was ahead of Alabama in the eyes of the committee. Notre Dame beat Stanford, and Alabama barely beat a 5-7 Auburn team. And that enough was to flip the two teams. That means there's hardly any difference between Notre Dame and Alabama in the eyes of the committee. I mean, the committee's telling you that. They've told you that the last couple of weeks. There's hardly any difference between Bama, Notre Dame, and Miami in the eyes of the committee. So we can, first down and 10. Stockton keeps it. He gets absolutely pancaked onto the ground. Second and 10. Look, Bama needs to get this ball back. Alabama needs to get this ball back. Georgia doesn't care about anything but winning this football game. Gunner Stockton, they're not looking at style points. It's going to be 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. Greg, will you be doing a Heisman show? I might. Again, I've already cast my imaginary Heisman ballot, my vote. I've already voted for Julian Sayin, just ahead of Fernando Mendoza, just ahead of Jacob Rodriguez, the great linebacker of the Red Raiders. Those are my top 3. But I would take Sayin. Georgia's going to have to punt it. Here comes Bama. Here comes Bama. Don Scruggs, me and Wendy was in Athens and had a dinner next to Delp, big old tight end, and his family. You don't realize how big these kids are until you sit next to them. Okay, Bama. Fumble! First down and 10, Bama at their 3-yard line. They may need a 97-yard drive here. Or are they in the playoffs? We do not know. We do not know. Has not been a very good performance by Bama. Pure chaos. Pure chaos. Okay. First of all, I want to thank everybody who has donated to tonight's show to help us keep the lights on and grow the channel. Bill G, thank you so very much. Dave Valinsky, Mr. Golfer, appreciate it. Eva Badger, thank you so very much. UCLA Bruin, John Teal, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your help. Thanks to all who have come in and joined us to watch this watch party together. If you're new to the channel or if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our channel. Ring that notification bell because we can come on live at any time. So you want to make sure you get notified. This is a national college football YouTube channel. We cover everything, the breaking news, everything. We come morning. We might be coming on in the afternoon. We might be coming on late night. So it's important that you ring that notification bell and smash the like button if you've enjoyed our content. I very much appreciate it. We've got Alabama down 21-7 with the ball at the 3-yard line. The committee is looking for any narrative anywhere. They might be able to say, look at Alabama. They scratch back just like they did against Auburn. Yes, they're 10-3, but we think they're better than Notre Dame, Miami. They go to the playoffs. Or they might look at this performance and say it was close, but we got to give it to Notre Dame in Miami. Simpson throws it in the ground at 2nd and 10. Shotgun. Simpson's in the end zone. They can't run the ball. Georgia knows they're going to throw it. Ooh, we had a head-on collision there. Two Georgia Bulldogs hit each other. Complete 3rd down in about 2 yards. 2 to 3 yards. If Bama doesn't make this, do they go for it? That's another question. Third down and 2. Simpson. Back to pass. Incomplete. The tight end was absolutely crushed. Pass broken up. Now, does Alabama go for it and not make it? If they don't make it and Georgia scores, that's going to look worse for Alabama. Is Alabama playing the game or they're playing the playoffs? They're playing the game. They're going for it. 4th and 2 at the 12. Incomplete. Georgia's ball. Alabama did not play for the playoffs. They played for the game. Wow. Wow. I don't know, guys. I don't know if that was the right move. I don't know if that was the right move. Ooh. I want to give some credit to Kalen DeBoer for gutsiness. But that might be eliminated by stupidity. If you're playing for a championship, you got to go for the win. Yes. I agree. I think I agree. I think I agree, but I'm not sure if I agree. Back to pass. There is that screen to Branch. Touchdown, Georgia. I don't know. It's a very
Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
It's like a Rubik's Cube that I never could figure out. I don't know. Play the game or play the playoffs. By the way, they did that one bubble screen to Branch in the first half where they finally did it in the second half. It worked both times. I don't know, guys. I don't know, guys. Well, I can't find my chalk. My chalk is gone. My chalk is gone. What the heck is going on? Okay. All right. What do you guys think? I mean, Brad's making some good points. I don't know about that. You know, if you punt it, there's still 8 minutes to go, so you can argue. I'm playing the game, and I'm trying to help us to the playoffs. But going forward, there. Mitch Sherman, Nebraska beat writer. Alabama is playing with fire. Pete Sampson, Notre Dame beat writer. Welp, how about Notre Dame in Miami? It almost makes Alabama look more desperate. Pat Forte. Kirby Smart is unconcerned with Alabama's playoff status. Um, I don't know, guys. Okay. Here's the thing. If Alabama loses this game 28-7, pass complete, good pass by Simpson. There is no way they stay ahead of Notre Dame. And I think they don't stay ahead of Miami. I don't know how they stay ahead of both those teams. Simpson is 17 of 31. Gunnar Stockton 20 of 26. Alabama ran the ball 14 times today for 1 yard. Buck Wargo. Super chat. Thank you so much, sir. It's... dumb move by Alabama. Coach isn't thinking to keep the game close to ensure playoff spot. Woo, man, that is going to be a discussion. That is going to be the discussion for tonight. Thank you, Buck Wargo. Thank you for the super chat. I think a lot of people agree with you. I think a lot of people don't agree with you. I'm playing both sides of the fence on that at this point. Thank you for the $5 holler, Buck Wargo. Thank you so much. I think a lot of people agree with you. There was... I don't know. That's tough. And what really makes it difficult is you can't run the ball. You know, if you had the option of running it, it would make it more difficult for the defense to stop it. Defense knows you're not going to run the ball. So what were the chances of Alabama getting that first down? It's like, I don't know. Thank you, Buck Wargo. I appreciate it. The Architect, Greg, you got to take the L on the branch transferring to the Dogs. Yeah, I do take the L. You're absolutely right, the Architect. I will take the L on Zachariah Branch. Again, he's not a complete wide receiver. He's a bubble screen receiver, just like he was at USC. And that's one of the reasons why he wanted to leave USC. But he's been good. He's been good. I take the L. I absolutely take the L. Fourth and 1. They got it. Alabama keeps the ball, 5:20 to go in the game. "42-yard line. What is he saying? What is the ref saying? First down and 10, whatever he said. Oh boy, that I was almost picked off there. Almost picked off. Thank you, Opie. Appreciate it. Second and 10. Shotgun. That linebacker came jetting out of there. Sack Simpson. It's going to be third and long. Great recognition by number 10. Great recognition. If you were Notre Dame or Miami, and if you make the playoffs, I would much rather play Oklahoma than Texas A&M. But, you know. Oh, wow, what is this? What a play! A lateral! Now they're going to have to check to make sure that was a lateral. What a play. Yeah, that was a lateral. That was good. 17-yard line. Simpson. Oh, he should have had that, Bernard. Let's go. Second down and 10. What a play by Alabama. Second down and 10. Georgia has controlled the game. Incomplete. Yeah, you're correct, Opie. You are correct. That was a great play. Great play, Bama. That was awesome. Very well executed. Simpson back to pass. Oh, incomplete. There's something going on here. This Bama offense is just a mess. And I got to tip your cap to Georgia. I know all that, but miscommunication on routes. They can't run the ball. I don't think Bama could run the ball against Rock and Rant, OPL, Woody, and Rod Nix. I do not think Bama could run the ball against a 4D line of Rock and Rant, OPL, Woody, and Rod Nix. It's 4th and 10. 17-yard line. Georgia's got it bunched up on the right. Oh! Simpson gets away from the rush. Simpson's... Fred Tarkenton! Fred Tarkenton! What happened? That ball go through his hands? Was that knocked away or did that ball go through his hands? What happened? Oh, the ball hit him in the chest! The ball was tipped a little bit. The ball was deflected. The ball was deflected. Tarkenton would be proud. You know what? I should not have used Tarkenton. I should not have used Tarkenton on that example. My apologies to the Georgia Bulldogs. Francis Aloysius Tarkenton was the quarterback of the Georgia Bulldogs. So I should not have used Frank Tarkenton example on an Alabama quarterback going against Georgia. My apologies to Don Scruggs, Wendy Scruggs, and the Georgia Bulldogs faithful. It was Tarkenton, but it was not Ahmad Rashad. The Hail Mary against Cleveland to get him in the playoffs. Metropolitan Stadium. Gunnar Stockton goes down 14-yard line. Opie, wow, Minnesota can win the important... Well, yeah, I mean... How many NFC championship games have we lost in a row? Seriously, Greg, if they leave Bama out, they will kill the golden goose of conference championship games. Do you think these clowns can handle doing it? Yes. 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 I believe. I believe in the clowns. Bring in the clowns. I believe in them. This is it. The Southeastern Conference is going to get so upset that they're going to say, okay, what the hell do you guys want? They're going to look at the metrics. They're going to tweak the metrics. They're going to tweak the metrics again. Greg Sankey is going to bend the knee. The committee is going to bend the knee. No, they're not going to bend the knee. We are going to get a larger playoff out of this, a much larger playoff. Everything has gone the way that it needed to go for playoff chaos. The Southeastern Conference is going to be so pissed at this. You should be 4-4-4-4-4-4-2-6. That does not equalize the conferences. The Southeastern Conference, you still have all the advantages of a first round home game, of a first round bye and a second round home game. More than the Big Ten, more than the ACC, more than the Big 12. You're going to make more and more money. But no, this is the game that you wanted to play. And you're going to get stung by it. Alabama out. The Fighting Irish in. And the Miami Hurricanes in. Send in the clowns. Send in the clowns. I believe in the clowns in the selection committee. They've seen Alabama. They've seen Alabama. Wendy Scruggs, how about my dogs? Congratulations, Wendy. SEC championship. If they leave out a 13-0 Florida State, they will leave out Miami this year. Nope, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Bama, the committee has spoken to us. Maybe not in the way that we wanted to hear them, but they have spoken to us. They have told us that Bama, Notre Dame, and Miami, there's not much of a difference between the three. They flip Bama and Notre Dame on what? What did they flip them on? A 27-20 win against Auburn, where you got very fortunate to win the game. Congratulations, you won the game, but come on. That was enough to take you over Notre Dame? If it was, then Notre Dame was barely ahead of you, Bama. And that means, Bama, you are barely ahead of Notre Dame going in this conference championship game. And Miami and Notre Dame are this close to each other. But we've got another data point. a competitive loss in a college football championship game, you're not going to be denied. But if you play where you get thumped and you're the 9th ranked team and there's only one at-large spot behind you and there's 2 teams right at your heels, according to the selection committee, you're out. You can't run the football. You can't run the football. The narrative is too easy. The future of conference championship games, they're going to go away. If I have anything to do about it, which I don't, but I should, and maybe I will. The conference championship games are going away. Army of 24. Your conference champion is the team that finishes 1 in the conference standings after your conference games are completed. And then we start the playoffs. This is the end of conference championship games. This is the end of the 12-team playoff. This is the end of a 5+7. This is the end of the 5+11 talks. We're going to go to AQ model 4-4-4-4-2-6. The dream is alive more than ever after this. More than ever. You cannot keep Alabama ahead of Notre Dame. You can't keep Alabama ahead of Notre Dame. Why would you have Alabama ahead of Miami? Miami beat Notre Dame. The Southeastern Conference will have 4 teams in the playoffs. Georgia is going to be number 2. After this performance, Georgia is going to be number 2. The winner of the Buckeyes and Indiana is going to be number 1. And the loser probably is going to be number 3. Unless they get thumped, then Texas Tech is going to go to number 3. And then the loser is going to be still ahead of Oregon. So Georgia's going to be number 2. Ole Miss is going to be number 6. Texas A&M is going to be number 7. And Oklahoma is going to be number 8. And they're going to be easy prey for the Irish or the Hurricane. The ACC is going to get at least 1 team in, Virginia. Well, Miami. And then if Virginia wins, they're going to get in. If they lose, Duke probably won't get in. Tony Petitti is a genius. I don't know if he's a genius, but he's a lot smarter than a lot of people are giving him credit for, I'll tell you that. He knew the longer this stretched out with the committee, people would be at each other's throats. UVA is in. Yeah, if they win, they're in. Bama should be out. Stephen Vitz says Bama should be out. Can we talk about Gunner in the Heisman race? Yes, we can talk about it. Let's talk about Gunner Stockton in the Heisman race. Great season by Gunner Stockton. Fabulous. Fantastic. Number 4 on my Heisman list. Behind Rodriguez, behind Mendoza, and behind the winner, Julian Sayin. Congratulations to Gunner Stockton. Great season. Gunner Stockton should get the Heisman. All right, guys. I want to thank all of you for joining us this afternoon. I appreciate it. Buck Wargo, John Teal, Eva Badger, Dave Valinsky, and Bill G. Thank you guys for your donations. I appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us again. I can't do the Big Ten and the ACC watch party, but I might do a late night post-game show tonight starting at 10 or 11 Central Time, midnight or 11 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll see what happens. But I want to thank you all. We're going to be doing a special show tomorrow going over the selections of who's in the playoffs and the bracket. We are going to be doing a special show, and I want you to get ready to give us a call at 763-260-133 tomorrow. It's going to be open line playoff selection show, so get ready. Keep your buckle up, brace for impact, keep your head on a swivel. Until next time, from all of us at College Football's Peek Around the Corner to all of you, please you all take great care of each other. And as always, God, family, Golden Gophers.